Memphis and Boise State. All right, let's discuss Brigham Young and Baylor and the ramifications of this game, obviously because of the new addition, the conference and all that. That's one thing. Now you got the logo battle as well. What would this win mean to Baylor? Just another win? Or is this a win that puts them back inside the top 25? Does this then pop them ready for an off week and then Texas in 2 weeks after that?
I think that this is a huge win for Baylor because this would potentially be the best team that they've beaten this year. No offense to Iowa State, but BYU's pretty darn good. So this is one of the better teams they've beaten all year, maybe one of the better teams that they would beat all year. This would be a quality win. I mean, yes, it gets them bowl eligible, but that should be the baseline goal for Baylor every year. And so once that little thing is checked off the bottom of the list, they can move on. And going into the bye week in a win is a whole lot better than going to the bye week off of a loss. And you've got Texas coming up. So, yeah, I think it's a huge win for Baylor should they get it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a nice win. I don't think it'd be a huge win for Baylor. I think, if I had to pick Iowa State and BYU, I don't know who I'd take. I'd probably take Iowa State in that game just off the top of my head, but I think it'd be a damn good game. I think Iowa State has an opportunity starting this weekend to really look like a much better team than they looked like in the first half. Not that they were horrific or anything, but they just obviously were a little bit of a disappointment given the expectations rolling in. But no, BYU's a very good team. You haven't played them a whole ton, so with the whole Big 12 rivalry, looming in the future and the Sailor Bear aspect of this or Sailor Cougar or whatever, I think that's a cool little unique part of this game as well. But yeah, I mean, for Baylor, it just mean a top 25 win. It would mean 6-1. It would mean you're bowl eligible, and it means you're going to the bye week. That's what it means. I mean, I don't think it means anything more than that, really. And I don't think it means more than just, hey, a nice win for BYU if they win. It means they stay on track and they don't drop a second straight game, which would, as we know, just completely explode their chances of what they would like to have at the end of the year. 2 losses would be a killer for them. So it's an important win, I think, for both teams. But for BYU, yeah, it's just staying the course and it's getting a nice win. And it's getting a win over a team that's borderline top 25 and one that you are going to be playing in the Big 12 in the future. So, that's all good. And like I said, for Baylor, it's all those things as well, and also a top 25 win if they do win it. So, yeah, it's a big opportunity for both teams. And, especially from Baylor's point of view, I think with the way the Big 12 is right now, there's going to be some teams that take up their second losses potentially this weekend in conference play. You've got the one right now. But, if you only have the one after this weekend, I think you're going to be sitting pretty. And you're going to be sitting right there in that Tier 1B behind the Tier 1A of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State potentially. So, yeah, it means a lot for both teams, but it doesn't mean everything.
Here's from TJ on what, Craig, you mentioned, Paul, and what the question was. Baylor should already be in the top 25. TJ's a big Texas fan, by the way, but this win would get them there. To Paul's point, I don't think it would be bigger than Iowa State win, but big nonetheless. And it also might send a signal, although I don't think that Brigham Young needs to send a signal about them being competitive in the Big 12. Sometimes it's an up year, off. I think everyone knows that Brigham Young's going to be a part of that conversation.
No, to correct TJ, who always misinterprets what I say, but I didn't say it would be bigger than Iowa State. I thought BYU might be better than Iowa State. They might be a better team than Iowa State. I don't know that for a fact right now, but from what we've seen so far, BYU's been pretty darn good, and Iowa State's been a little up and down. Like until last week, BYU hadn't lost a game yet. They didn't play well against Boise State. Boise State really popped them in the mouth. So that was very telling about maybe some of the stuff BYU's got going on. But BYU might be the best team that they've beaten to this point should they win.
Man, that's a pretty good point. I don't know what TJ. I don't know if TJ was misrepresenting. I think what he was saying is how big a win it was. I love it. It's great. We're getting feedback on this as well from George. By the way, Smokey, I'm not.